done this very kindly for me, because we've got this beautiful decorative mould running around like this, which is going to come all the way around here, and then it's going to go up the staircase around, and then obviously all the way up there. We're starting to do the moulds at the bottom here, and then obviously it will shoot up there as well. And then we're just templating this, so then it can be machined. Looks really, really cool. I'll also use that cardboard as a bit of a template for my MDF. I'm just going to lightly pencil mark along here and then step it in 10mm. That will then give me my NDF line to then this corner. What I'll actually do is that I'll actually pull this MDF panel all the way through, and I'll actually overhang it here. And then what I am going to do for speed, because this wall is everywhere, I would normally batten it all out, but I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do, there's a great product which I think is amazing. It's like an OB1 product. When I bought a box of this, and the first time I've used this, for me, the grab on this is just nuts. The MDF's quite a shiny surface, but this just eats into it, and it's really, really powerful. And then I can actually stick my panel on there, and once it's pushed on and on, that's it. I ain't got to worry about it, because it's just done, it's sorted. So I'm going to do the same with this as well, because I know if I'm trying to batten all this, it's going to be an absolute nightmare, and trying to get a fix in, because it's so tight in there, you know, guys. So that's the way I'm going to go. Got myself set up now. My MDF's upstairs, got to get that sorted out. I'm just going to trim this now with a knife, and then I'm away, guys. So what I will do with these here, I'll actually put plus 50mm. Reason being, it just gives me a little bit to play around with. I don't want to be having them come short to me. Got to put plus 25mm on that for myself when I cut my panel, so I know, so I don't forget. Plus 50mm. Now what I will do is, there's a joinery firm actually going to run these moulds for us on the spindle moulder, which is really cool. And once I've got the MDF to go on, I can offer them up, and then I can trim them to suit. And then it means I can then get them pretty much on the money. Should now hopefully come out like that. There we go. You can see now the outline, can't you? You got the top profile there. This is the bottom profile, so I can actually now make sure when I do my MDF to make it, say, about 100mm bigger. That allows it then to slip beyond the back of the string, which would be really cool. And there's the other panel, you can see. Give myself 100mm. Extend them, and then I'll cut these out of MDF now. I'm going to draw around the template, get it cut out with the jigsaw, and then I'll plane fit it. I'm going to carry this line through here. See what that is there. That's 50mm actually. So I'll put a marker up here, and then I'll come into that 50mm down here, so I can join those two lines together. Draw my marker around through here like that. That's it. Now one thing I want to do is probably add just 10mm on like that. That'll allow me just to ease it if I need to. Join that together through there. And I'll extend that to that like that. Same over here. All I need to do now is just jigsaw this out. And what I will be doing is finish this off with a spoke shave. Let's go and have a look, see what that looks like. If you remember what I did say, when I get that like that, you can see I need to cut out of there. So what I'm going to do is try and get that even as I can. A little bit of a gap up there is fine, because that's hopefully pretty straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark that corner now. I'm just going to take that up there, and I want it to drop in a good 100mm. So that's the measurement there. You can see it's 71mm actually. So I'm going to do 71mm here. There we go. And then I'm going to come about 100mm off there, so I'm going to take that section out there. There we go. That's where it needs to go. There we go. So I want it like that. What's going to happen is the MDF actually won't come to this corner. I'm going to put a piece of softwood in here, a decent piece of 44 by 44. Probably might be a little bit smaller, because whatever the covering strip is on the corner, in fact I'll show you what I mean. The reason I'm going to put a piece of softwood into the corner here, which will allow then the MDF to come across. I can screw it and glue it in. The MDF will come across, screw and glue it, and then these cover strips will actually then cover all of those joints and fixings up. And then I know that corner is going to be absolutely solid, guys. So That's why I'm going to put a piece of softwood in the corner. So what I'm going to do now is, look, you can see my cut line there, absolutely spot on. Now where this is working, it's actually working to the back of the string, which is actually where I want it to come. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot that off really nicely. So when I put this panel in, and I would just butt to that, because the one thing I would want to do is that I'd want to get that in first, then this in second. The reason being, even though it's being covered by a cover joint, it's just the way I just think about things. If they open up and crack, even though you will never see this joint, for me, is that that piece would always go in first, not this piece, okay? Could do it with the plunge saw, but you know, sometimes it's just nice to keep the hand in, isn't it? Now you see how I'm holding the plane? I'm not trying to hold it back here. The guy who taught me always said, always make sure the plane or whatever tool that you're using is feel like an extension of your arm. So that's why I'm not trying to hold it here and do this, it's just be really uncomfortable. I'm holding it so I can really hold the plane with balance. Let's see how good I got that, shall we guys? Get a nice straight edge like this. Look at that, that's beautiful, isn't it? So that's it. Oh, that's lovely, that is beautiful. Absolutely, look at that, 660. That's what I'm after. That's it, that's lovely. So I'm going to draw my line in. See where it's going to come then. Now I know this edge is really nice and square, so I'm going to try and utilise that if I can. When this template, the way it works at the moment, this is the decent clean edge that I want, which is really good. Now let me just see whether this is the saw cut. No, that's the fresh edge actually, that side is there. So this is the nice square edge. I'm going to put that edge here like that. So I'll make sure this line as it comes through, I've got my 9mm, which is that return board. I'm going to mark this out around here. Now where I've just got this line coming through, that was representing the underneath that window board, if you remember. So I'm going to line that through, then I know it's a nice good straight line. And the measurement that I required was 200mm from that point. There we go, and what happens is this line here, I'm going to continue it up there like that. So I've run it a little bit further, but I can always cut that off square if I need to. But it means that that then goes underneath the windsill, follows then the string line up. Now just here, I need to increase it by 8mm, so it tucks behind that window. And then this measurement here was 20mm. And then I'm just going to run this mould in now, I've cut it again. So what I'll do now is I'll join that together and then I can cut everything out. Tap and lock this in, and what I need to do is mark the top of that. Obviously this is a little bit too high at the moment, so I'm going to tap that down, because obviously I'm going to stick this on first, this on second, aren't I? I'm going to put that like that, just bring that sheet slightly over it, put a piece of this there, like that. Hopefully it'll be enough. Look at that, guys. Now you probably notice I've actually used a blue grit on the actual wall. It gives me a really good key because obviously I need dust and substrate, which is on there. I don't want it on there. And if you notice as I've slid in, I've not pushed it all the way back because I know once to do that, that grab holds on solid. Just going to touch this side, so yeah, it's got to go back a little bit. Now, so what I'm going to do is evenly tap it a little bit like the plasterers do, really. I'm actually going to, now I've got that one pretty much set, that'll go in there just to check that, how that's looking. That's looking really nice down that line as well. Slide down, I'm going to tap that in now because obviously I've got markers. That's lovely. What I do is just check, make sure she's plumb. Because obviously it's quite nice to have this nice and flat through here, because if I don't, what will happen when I put the mould on, it'll sort of look wavy, and that's what I don't want. If I'd have done that all in timber and did everything I was going to do, it would probably cost me a lot more time, a lot more money in materials. I've used 4 tubes of grab adhesive. You could have probably got away with 2.5, 3, but I just wanted to make sure there's no movement in the panel because obviously being so thin, but for me that's a massive win-win, and that's why I keep coming back to that product because it's absolutely solid, it's brilliant stuff. Next phase, I've got a vertical piece of timber all the way up, nice and straight. Here we go, a bit nice with the CLS. I'll do as my basher, won't it? That'll be nice, won't it? I'm gonna dab some stuff all the way through here. Make sure I've got the adhesive running all the way up, and then I can actually then dab another board on top. I can then actually stick my MDF to this plasterboard. What I will do, I'll actually bring my plasterboard through to here. It means that then they can wet coat it then to the edge, and then get it ready to skim, which will be better for them. So if I do 130 mil, that leaves then 3.5 mil for skim. So look, you see that's why I want a really nice, decent edge. So I can run that up to there. I can set that back, what I need to, and then I can dab it and get it absolutely spot on. That means then the plaster line can come to this edge beautifully. That's why I want that nice and crisp. Obviously, what I'm going to be doing is putting a piece of MDF here like this. So it's quite important that when I dab the plasterboard back, I get it exactly spot on, and I'll do a check with this anyway. But if I can put that in there like that, and then mark the back of this, it will just give me a guide, won't it, guys? And then as I'm tapping it back, I can just keep checking. But what it means is the mold's going to come down here, return round, drop down the same detail as that, and moisture in and return. And look, absolutely beautiful. Use the finger and pencil line like that all the way down. When I come to dab, as long as I can see that pencil line, I'll be happy. I'll probably actually take it a little bit past the pencil line. The reason being is obviously I want to get a nice thin bead of OB1 grab adhesive on there, which will then allow me then to run it all the way through. So yeah, definitely leave a couple of mil on that when I come to dab. Beautiful.